Democratic Party here in Rockdale County. Well, guess what? Now you know. So we're inviting you to come over, ease on over. If you don't want to lose your seat and feel somebody getting your seat, stay where you are, and someone will come to you and make sure we put you in the door. The Democratic Party is in Rockdale County. We just want to make sure y'all know, because this county is a blue county, and it is our goal to keep it blue, blue, blue. I'm going to give this microphone to Ms. Phyllis, to the president, Ms. Cheryl Board, and then we'll make it way back over to me. And just say, by the way, I just happen to be the street sweeper, the chief street sweeper here in Rockdale County. You've noticed you've not seen any cigarette butts or any aluminum cans, because at 11:30, that's my job. My job is to pick up all the cigarette butts and the aluminum cans and make sure that you don't have them in the county. So I'm the chief street sweeper here in the county. If you're trying to figure out who I am, that's what I do. You haven't seen any cigarette butts lately.
No,
okay, if you do, let me know. Especially a Pall Mall, a Camel, a Viceroy, a Bison and Hedges. You see it? If you see Cool, Newport, or Western, let them stay down there. But if you see a Viceroy, a Camel, or a Pall Mall, a Marlboro, you got to get it out of Rockdale quickly. Y'all get me excited. I'm Chairman Oz Nesbitt, serving you, working for every single individual in Rockdale County. And the truth of the matter, Ms. Boyd, is whether you're blue or red, I'm working for you. But tonight, I'm hanging out with my people, the blue people, the Rockdale Democratic Party. All right.
Good evening, Rockdale. I want to thank all of you that did make it out here tonight. And I want you to tell your friends, we will be doing this every second Monday. Next month we'll be at Triples, which is over on 138, and then we'll probably be coming back over here to SUDO's. But what we want to do is make sure that people are always in the know. Politics start locally. What happens to you on your day-to-day basis starts in the local part of your city and county. And so we're going to have some local officials with us, state officials, and even those running for U.S. Senate tonight. So I want you to sit back, relax. I want to thank our chairman, Mr. Oz Nesbitt, for bringing us first together on our first official night of doing this. Thank you, Chairman. Thank you very much. I also want to give a special thank to SUDO, who, when we came with them, the idea was open and wanted us to be able to start out with them. So thank you very much to Biz and Cynthia, and of course to Todd for making us welcome here tonight. I'd like to first introduce, and Marion, that's right, I apologize. That's right, all of those folks make this place run smooth, so we gotta make sure. But we do have part of our board here tonight, and I'd like to introduce everyone. We have Mr. John Penn, who is our first vice chair, and working with our public school system. Our second vice chair is Ms. Phyllis Hatcher, who Politics After Dark was her idea. So let's give her all the props and start this off. Myself, as I said, I am Cheryl Miles Board, and I am the newly elected chair here in Rockdale County. And the only thing that we all know is, as far as we're concerned, when you cut yourself, your blood is blue. Sure is. So sit back. I'm going to give it over to our second vice chair, who's going to do all our introductions and kick this party off tonight.
All right, Democrats. Are y'all excited? Rockdale Democrats are in the house tonight. But we just want to thank you all again for coming out. We actually want to do an introduction to Rockdale County. So most of the time we don't have a chance to actually meet everybody during our fourth other meeting time at 9 o'clock in the morning. So after as being a candidate at one time, being on the campaign trail, I saw and talked to a lot of people that said that I don't know anything about voting, I'm not registered to vote. So the idea of the Politics After Dark is to educate our people. So this kind of setting is going to be a Q&A setting as well. We have our chairman here, Chairman Oz Nesbitt in the house tonight. One more time, y'all. One more time for our chairman. We have Denise Laws here. Miss Denise Laws, please stand. She actually ran for insurance commissioner on this last 2018 election, and she will be coming back in 2022. Okay. And then we also have a United States Senator candidate here. I hate to mess up his name, y'all. God, I hate that. I'm just gonna let him say it. Now, sometimes my mind is getting a little old. Just give me your name.
Akhenaten Amun.
Akhenaten Amun. Y'all say that. Akhenaten
Akhenaten
Amun.
Amun. But Amun is the easy part. A-M-U-N.
Okay. Amun. So we just keep that Amun, okay? So he's actually running for the United States Senate. So we're gonna let our chairman start us off because we are in his house. We are in his county. So we're gonna let him start us off, and then he's gonna open up to ask. I'm sure that Chairman that you will be want to answer some questions because he's back up for election again, y'all, in 2020. So give our chairman a hand as he comes.
You know, I'm so proud of the Democratic Party in Rockdale County doing things that are outside the box, thinking outside the box, and having politics after dark really speaks to where we are as a community, meeting people where they are. You have to be able to have the ability to meet people where they are. I campaign in the churches, I campaign in the nightclubs, I campaign at Walmart, I even go over to Target, they call it Target, right? I go over there and I campaign at the gas pump because where the real people are, that's where exactly where I want to be. So for all of the folks here tonight at SUDOs, again, we give a big shout out to Brother Marion in the back, the nighttime manager here at SUDOs. Yes, sir. We appreciate Biz and Cynthia allowing us to be here, but I want to just give you a little bit of education. First of all, SUDOs is located in Rockdale County. You are not in any other county other than Rockdale. If you are a registered voter and you live in Rockdale County and you're interested in being a part of the Rockdale Democratic Party, we encourage you. In fact, we strongly encourage you to fill out some information here or raise your hand, and they'll come from under all of this here and come out to you. Now, let me say this after. The folks sitting over here, they probably already registered folks and good to go. So you don't have to look at them. You come out to where these folks near the bar, that's who we're talking to tonight. We're not talking to these folks we know. We're talking to these other folks who may not even know or be aware that there is a Democratic Party here in Rockdale County. Also want to make sure that if you have been a resident in Rockdale County for 30 days, you should have already changed your license and your registration and all that stuff at the DMV or the Department of Driver Services and automatically have become a registered voter in Rockdale County. But in the event that you did not or you haven't, we're going to give you that opportunity tonight. So we want to encourage you to, again, to inquire about what's going on with the Democratic Party here in Rockdale County. We're having a fresh start. We're starting all over, and we're looking for some new people to get involved with what's going on. I'm going to ask if you have any questions, and to start us off, to kind of help us out, I think some of the standing Democrats in Rockdale, you may want to just kind of provoke thought a little bit by giving me a question or two that you may think someone would want to ask, but for whatever reason they may be shy, a little timid, and don't want to ask. You can start this thing off a little bit by asking a question pertaining to the local Rockdale Democratic Party. If you're out in the audience and a part of the regular, what I call the regular rocking and rolling SUDOs crowd, feel free to raise your hand. We'll come over to you and answer any of those questions that you might have that we can answer tonight. So anyone that's a part of our regular standing crowd that would love to start it off with a question that you really believe that someone would really like to know to help get this thing going, Tommy. Anybody? Yes, sir. All right, I'm coming over with the microphone, and this is a question that someone who is not familiar with the Democratic Party in Rockdale County just might want to be able to ask that question. John, what's your question tonight?
My question is, we currently have 3 commissioners. What are your thoughts about having 2 more added?
Well, I'm so glad that John asked such a question. So I'm going to restate his question. John's question is, Chairman, we currently have 3 commissioners in Rockdale County. What are your thoughts about having an additional commissioner? Well, my thoughts are the thoughts of the people. How about that? If the people of Rockdale County say they want another commissioner, they want 2 more commissioners or 5 more commissioners. It's up to the people of Rockdale County. It's not up to me. Now, if you're asking for my opinion, and I think that's what you really was doing, I'm going to give you that. And here it is. We currently have 3 commissioners in Rockdale County. We are the 2nd smallest county in the state of Georgia. What does that mean? I'm glad you asked. We have a little over 95,000 residents in Rockdale County. I'm responsible for about 1,000 people as the day-to-day manager on a day-to-day basis. Now, how does that impact you as a citizen? I like the fact that you keep asking me good questions. Here's the answer to that question. If you put in another commissioner or 2 or 3, then you got to spend more money to pay those people. You have to have space for office space. You have to have room for support personnel and all of those things that it takes to have one office standing and operating in Rockdale County. Why would you really need? If it's working, if it's not broke, why do you have to fix it? What do I mean by that? In Rockdale County, we serve, all 3 commissioners serve at large. Now, what does that mean? We don't have districts, precincts, or wards in Rockdale County. So you never have to worry whether you live in the northern part of Rockdale or the southern part of Rockdale, or perhaps out here in the Salem Road district, which is known as the central part of Rockdale. All 3 commissioners are your commissioner. So you never have to worry about it like they do in other counties. Who is my commissioner? I need to call him. In Rockdale County, all 3 commissioners serve as your commissioner, okay? And you don't have to worry about those territorial wars and battles about this side of town and that side of town, because when the commissioners in Rockdale County make a budgetary decision, they're making that decision for the entire community. So I want you to understand that. So having them serving at large, and you have and the beauty about this particular board, and I certainly can say this, you have a board that works in harmony, works in concert, work together. And yeah, that's all right. It's good to clap your hand on that. Matter of fact, y'all ought to be clapping your hands on that. You don't have a hell-raising board. I know in some counties, they got boards that's always bickering and fighting and raising hell, and you don't have that in Rockdale. In fact, some people get ticked off that we work in such harmony and such concert together. Now, that doesn't mean, Ms. Laws, that we don't disagree. I work with 2 very strong women, one on my left and one on my right. Yeah, that's right, they're strong women. And you best believe that we come across disagreement. But we pledged among ourselves that when we go out in front of the people, that we step out in front of the people on one accord. We're together. You follow what I'm saying? And we operate in a very respectful manner. I hope I've given you some of the little nuggets of why we don't, I told you number 1 is the people's choice. That's what I told you first. Then I went ahead and entertained your real question, which was, what was my opinion? You want to charge the people of Rockdale more money? Go ahead and add on additional commissioners. If you have a board that's working well together in concert, why do it? Now, some people are going to tell you there should be a couple of more commissioners simply because they're running for public office. And they need another spot so they can make a spot for them. Because if there's not another spot, there's nowhere to put them. That's true. Okay? Or they just don't want to have to challenge one of the 3 people that are there. But if there's any salt to them, the challenge won't be a problem. Okay? But if you're thinking about the taxpayer and the citizens and the community first, then you're going to make the right decision. Somebody else got another question for me. I saw, I'm going to go with this gentleman here. I won't give you the mic, but I'll lean it towards you, because y'all like to take the mic. See that? See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Did you see that, Mr. Brown?
I had somebody ask me the other day what the current plans are about bringing MARTA out towards Rockdale County. You know the answer? Do you have any idea what that is at this point?
You know what? I am so glad this man asked me that question. You know, I'm going to my resource right here, I'm I'm old school, but I'm also in the know with what's happening with the new school. So I'm going to bring this up because I want everybody to know this. His question was about what's going to happen concerning the conversation about bringing MARTA out to Rockdale County. So I want to make sure you make a note of this. And that person that asked you to ask, I want you to tell them I said this. I want you to be, you're all invited to the Board of Commissioners meeting here in Rockdale County. And we're having an exclusive meeting on Tuesday, the 26th of February at 10 a.m. Our very own Rockdale County resident who is in charge of the new ATL Transit, who's also in charge of Greta and SUDO for Metro Atlanta in terms of transportation, Mr. Chris Thomason. You will be able to get it straight, somebody say straight, from the horse's mouth. Right. So he'll be here on February 26th at 10 a.m. And somebody said, I'm going to be at work then. You should, because you got to pay your rent and your mortgage. You got to get the baby daycare and all that. Go to work. But hopefully you work where you have a cubicle that you can pull up the Vimeo or Facebook Live to the Rockdale meeting, and you have to bend down at your desk and watch the little snippets of the meeting. You can still tune in. And if you don't want to get in trouble because you got one of them hellacious supervisors that's hovering over you while you're trying to work, what you can still do is tune in that evening and watch the pre-recorded broadcast of the same information that will be running from week to week. Again, that date is Tuesday, February the 26th. Instead of us trying to repeat what Mr. Thomason and all the folks at the governor's house are preparing to do for the state of Georgia, we thought it'd be best that we bring him straight to you, bring the source to you. That way when you leave the meeting, you can say exactly what the man said and you won't be repeating the wrong information. Anybody ever have a grandmother other than mine that watched the news and still got the story wrong?
Where is it at?
It will be at 901 Main Street at the Assembly Hall, the Rockdale County Board of Commissioners Assembly Hall, 901 Main Street. That's in the heart of Old Town Conyers. And Mr. Chris Thomason is a proud Rockdale County resident, but he just happens to be the man in charge. He is very smart and intelligent man. We're so proud that he's a resident of Rockdale County, and we're proud that he's coming home to give information to us. But I'm really proud of my colleagues that we thought enough about the citizens of Rockdale to bring this information home. And the reason why, let me be very serious here and say that 65% of the people that live in Rockdale County work westbound on I-20. 65% of the people that live, Marion, here in Rockdale, they go west every morning and they get on that express about 5 a.m. in the morning. Okay? So all the folks who are paying mortgages, who buying drinks at SUDOs, who buying watermelon off the watermelon truck in July, they make their money in Atlanta. 65% of those people, Ms. Laws, so they want to know, do they have any type of transportation alternative? And Mr. Chris Thomason is coming to tell us. Okay? All right. Mr. Plummer had a question.
I would like to see, since the population growth, that we at Recreation and Parks, in one of the parks, I believe it would probably be Johnson, that hopefully that we can invest into a bigger pool that will have diving boards and start getting better on our swimming. So I would like to see a whole aquarium done. Those are beautiful, 12 feet deep. They're really great. When that has it, that would be something I would love to see.
So what Mr. Plummer just said, that he's interested in increasing the tax revenue so that the Parks and Recreation Department can get a state-of-the-art aquatic center, very much like the one they have up in Gwinnett County. The one up in Gwinnett County. I love it when people compare us with other municipalities and other counties, because especially when they talk about Sandy Springs and Peachtree and Gwinnett County, a big old Gwinnett. Do you know how many Rockdales we can put inside of Gwinnett? But I understand what he's saying, that our aquatic center over on Johnson Road at Johnson Park has really outgrown itself, and the truth of the matter, Mr. Plummer is correct. Now, I want to do two things while he's opened this up. Number one, if you haven't lately visited the Rockdale County website, which is rockdalecountyga.gov, I strongly encourage you to go to the website. Visit the website. You can click on any link on the website, but there's two areas I really want to encourage you to click on. Click on Parks and Recreation, and also click on the Public Relations Department. You will see that we have loaded the citizens in Rockdale County up with several arts and culture and entertainment events for 2019, just as we did in 17 and 18. But 19 is going to be an exciting year, full of enthusiasm with the people in Rockdale County in mind. We have so many events, whether you are a senior, or whether you are a toddler, or whether you're somewhere in the middle, we've got something for you. And I'm so excited to tell you, if you haven't gotten your ticket, because the early bird catches the worm on the 20th of April. That is the actual birth date of the late, great Luther Vandross. Here in Rockdale County, we're bringing the Luther Vandross experience on his actual birthday, which is April the 20th. And I'm telling you, if you don't get your ticket, you're going to be hot as fish grease. You're going to be ticked off that you didn't get a ticket. You're going to hear about it, and you're going to wish you had been there. I went and checked this young man out. I went out to Camp Creek, and I heard him. And buddy, if you close your eyes, you might think Luther done come back, because this brother sounds good. And he's got a band, they got a band that really bad. And to have that kind of entertainment here in Rockdale County for the first time, it's going to be a delight and a treat. So we have several different events that's going to take place. Some other questions you have for me? Somebody else has a question for me? April 20th, and if you go to Rockdale website, you should be able to find that information. It's already out there. There's going to be a special price for those early bird tickets, Ms. Laws. You can come down here and sit next to some of the people that will be voting for you in the future as you groove to the tunes of Luther Vandross. All right. What are the benefits of being a member of the Rockdale Democratic Party? You know, this is probably going to go down tonight in history as the #1 question of the evening. That's right. What are the benefits of being a member of the Rockdale Democratic Party? Well, let me first tell you one thing. You become a member of a distinct organization who is progressively thinking about all the people in our community and moving our county forward. Oftentimes people get caught up talking about what's happening on the national level, but I can't ever remember a time, Ms. Bonner, where any president ever assisted with fixing a pothole. I can't ever think of a time when there was a president that ever thought about bringing an aquatic center for the young people in our backyard to have a place to swim. What am I saying? Your local elected officials are the ones that's going to show up at your church, or at least they should, come to your child's school, or at least they should, come to your house, at least they should. You can pick up the phone and call them. But you're not going to be able to do that with your president of the United States. All politics is really local. It's local. So it's important that you know who your local officials are, that you can put your hands on them in the event that you need them. So one of the benefits of being a member of the Rockdale Local Democratic Party is you get to know who the players are in your own backyard. And you have an opportunity to vet those people, even those people who are interested in running for public office. You get a chance to really find out from them what their platforms are all about. And for those of us who are seeking re-election, you need to find out from them. What have you done for me lately? When was the last time I've seen you? I haven't seen you since the last time you was asking for my vote. All of those things are what you need to be concerned with, and it gives you an opportunity. But also, it gives you a great opportunity at civic and community engagement. You become the change that you talk about. You follow what I'm saying? Instead of just talking about what somebody else can do for you, you can exemplify and demonstrate yourself what the community needs by becoming active and getting. Let me say this, folks. You don't have to become an elected official to have power and have a voice. In fact, a lot of folks have much more power and voice, and they've never held an office ever in their entire life. If you know how to coordinate and communicate and collaborate, which means work with people in the community. So if you can do that, then you have one of the strongest, some of the most powerful people in the community have never held an elected position before. So there are several things. You become a part of a brotherhood and a sisterhood of people who are trying to do good in their community. Okay? If you're interested in running for local politics, this gives you a platform and a way to get out to learn who's who and what you need to do to start moving throughout the community. There are so many. In fact, I really think the ultimate answer to that question is that there are unlimited possibilities and opportunities in joining the local Rockdale Democratic Party. Tonight, networking. There should be a person in this venue tonight that leaves here without making sure you meet someone that you didn't know before you came here tonight. And if you're thinking you're going to run for public office, then you ought to be working the room. You ought to be making sure folk know who you are. Because folk just not going to walk up to you unless you're a fried piece of pork chop or something, and they might back up off you then because they don't eat pork. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to keep it real. Well, I have another question.
You have another question?
Right.
Okay.
So is there a website and do you have a calendar of events that we can?
Yes, we do.
So Ms. Bonner's question, very good question, Ms. Bonner. She wanted to know, is there a website for the Rockdale Democratic Party where you can go through that website and check out who the party is, the leadership, the core values, the mission statement of the party? The answer to that question is yes. And I must give you some additional news because I learned by going to the last meeting, not only do they have a website, but they have a website that is in progress, it's under construction, with adding some new links with some new information so that we can continue to cater to the people in Rockdale County. So there's going to be even more exciting information coming through on that website in the days ahead about some of the things that the local Democratic Party will be doing. Absolutely. Anybody else have a question for me? Yes, sir.
Rockdale Dem South.
So I have another question, Ms. Hatcher, Ms. Board. This question reads, what strategically are the governing authorities doing to stimulate economic development for the people of Rockdale County? Well, I love that question. Have y'all driven around Rockdale County lately and seen all of the development and construction that's going up, all of the new businesses that are coming into town, all of the new entrepreneurs who are opening up and getting their business permit? Rockdale County is open for business, and it is a community willing, ready, and able to do business. Let me just tell you, we have done so many new business permits here in Rockdale County. We are so excited about the new Rockdale Technology Center that you can see right there coming off of I-20. It is going to bring in so many employment opportunities for folks who have the skill set to go with what's going to be going into those facilities. And then the number of restaurants and the number of shops. Well, and listen, I don't never separate or distinguish between the city of Old Town, Conyers, and Rockdale County as a whole. Why? I'm glad you asked. Because Conyers is located where? In Rockdale County. Conyers is the only city inside of Rockdale County. I thought I'd make sure I slowed down to explain that because it's so confusing for so many people. And here's one of the most confusing parts about it. We do have a sheriff's office, the gray cars you're familiar with, and we do have a city police department that patrol the city limits of Conyers, particularly in the Old Town area, the blue and black cars that you see. But I want you to understand that the county government, this community is quite unique and different because in most communities, the mayor is the most dominant and the most ever-present leader in the community. It's much different here in Rockdale County. Most people don't even know we have a mayor, but we do have a mayor, okay? And why? That's because you have a chairman who's all over the place in making sure that he's accessible to your needs, he's ever present, and he's listening to your concerns and making sure that now I must tell you, we work well in good concert with the mayor's office and our wonderful school superintendent. Have you met Dr. Oates, Dr. Terry? Give a round of applause for our brand new school superintendent. That's right, you got a baby, a grandbaby, a niece, a nephew, or somebody in school. And listen, whether you have a child in school or not, I want to let you know you are paying school taxes, so you ought to be clapping your hands anyway to make sure that you paying it. And you have a superintendent who knows how to make sure he put the children of our community first when it comes to academic achievement and academic excellence here in Rockdale County. I'm so proud to announce that my office, the chairman of Rockdale County, the mayor's office of the city of Conyers, and the school board superintendent, Dr. Oates, we work in concert together. This is a small and quaint community, so there's no need for us not to work together. But having the right, you said it earlier, Tom, communication with the right folks, and you can do that. Who has another? I saw another hand I keep missing, had another question. Anybody else has a question about Rockdale County Democratic Party coming over to Ms. Lee?
Well, it's really for you, Chairman, how the citizens can get in touch with you because he has an open door policy.
Thank you so much, Ms. Lee. I talk all the time about being accessible to the citizens of Rockdale County. Now, I am a little different. I'm a little different. Yeah, I am. Don't say special now. I am different.
Unique.
I'm unique. I'm so unique that some of the other elected officials really just don't know how to, they don't know what to do. But I just believe in keeping it real and meeting people where they are. And the most frustrating thing about a citizen is when you need to get a hold of an elected official, once they done got the office and the title and all that big stuff, you can't get a hold of them jokers. Well, I pride myself on being accessible, making sure that if you need to get a hold of me, you can get a hold of me. Now, if you live in Rockdale County and you don't know how to get a hold of Oz Nesbitt, I don't know where you're living.
That's right.
Because we are literally all over the place. I'm talking about myself and I said we. Did you notice that? Because no one gets anything done by themselves. So it's me and the team of people who represent this community. Now, if you just happen to be, I'm going to take you to Augusta for a quick minute. Bear with me. If you happen to be up in here and you don't have my cell number, I'm about to give it to you. Because I don't want you to ever be in a situation where you need to get a hold of the man that's in charge of the entire county and you don't have his number. And you can say to your co-workers, the people at church, you can say to the haters, you can say to all of them, I got the man's number. He didn't give me his office number. He didn't give me that county cell number. He actually gave me his real contact number. Can you believe he written? Now, I want to tell you, I'm going to give you this real number.
They got your cell phones.
I hope you're getting your cell phones out and you're getting something to write this down. And right before I give you this number, I need to give you some very important instructions. You can call me anytime. Wait a minute. You can contact me any time of the day or night. But the best way to do it is to text me.
That's right, and you'll respond.
If you text me, I will respond.
That's right, you will.
Why do you want me to text you? I'm glad you asked. Because I'm working so hard and diligently for you. I'm almost always at an event or in and out of a meeting on your behalf. If I'm sitting in a meeting, I cannot talk to you, Phyllis, on the telephone. But if you text me, Phyllis, I will text you back while I'm martyr in the middle of the meeting. So now that you have those instructions down pat, here's the number. You have to make sure folks got stuff right before you just, folks have it. Marinelle, somebody say, man, come on with the number. Here it is. That number is 770-624-9446. That's okay. I know I got some old schools in here, so I'm going to give it to you again. Don't worry. Here it comes. 770-624. I was raised in the house with my grandmother, so I knew you had to read numbers twice. 770-624-9446. My grandmother was the smartest person I knew, and she only had a 4th grade education.
624.
And she got me addicted to 60 Minutes when I was in the 8th grade. That's right. She loved herself some news and Walter Cronkite. Y'all don't know nothing about him. 770-624-9446. Go ahead and send me a text message now with your name. Put your first and last name and say, I ran into you at SUDO's, at Politics After Dark with the Democratic Party. Then I will lock you in and I'm going to blow your mind because when I get a chance later, I'm going to text you back. Now, the other thing, if you're on social media, I know the young people are not really much on Facebook. That's okay. I got something for them too. I'm on Facebook and I have about 5 different Facebook pages. Don't get frustrated if you go to one page and it doesn't let you in. Just go to the one that lets you in. Okay? It'll be all right. If you have Instagram, I'm there. If you have Twitter, I'm there. There's no reason you can't get a hold of your chairman. Now I'm gonna brag for a moment if I can. Because the chairman of DeKalb, Fulton, Cobb, and Gwinnett, they ain't giving you their personal cell number. You can't get them, and they ain't coming out to no club, hanging out with you until election time. But if you happen to, because I know we got some Newton County residents in here tonight, and you get the benefit of how it really works, so I know you're going to go call Chairman Banks and say, where were you? You need to start doing some of this kind of stuff. See, the beauty, going back to John's question about whether we should have 5 board members or just 3, the beauty of living in a community like Rockdale County, you can talk to the mayor, talk to the chairman, talk to the chief of police, talk to the sheriff, talk to the school board superintendent. When you live in those big municipalities and those big communities, you can't get to those folks because you got to get through about 5 gatekeepers before you get. Anybody got another question? Everybody at SUDO's already be able to get a hold of me by now. Y'all be blowing up my phone. You should have sent me a text message with your information on it. Now, I just had something to hit me. You probably wish I gave you this mic before I said this, but I got it, so I'll say it. I'm up for re-election next year.
That's right.
And we're going to kick off our very powerful Blue Army this summer.
All right.
And if you've not seen Team Mars, you're getting ready to see a movement like you wouldn't believe.
That's right.
It looks like something out of the 60s. We come in like an army baby. For all those folks who are sitting up in here, they came to check me out because they thinking about running against me. All I say is get you a good pair of shoes. Get you a good pair of shoes. Get you a good pair of shoes. And make a list of where you done helped at least 200 people.
That's right.
Because you ain't done anything for anybody for you and your household. Stay home and get out of our way. Because the Blue Army gonna run you slap over. You gotta be from Augusta to understand what slap means. Okay. All right. Now, any other questions? Any other questions? In case the folks who came in late didn't know what we were doing, we're in the middle of Rockdale Democrats present Politics After Dark here at SUDO's. Give it another round of applause for SUDO's. Don't forget your waitress. Make sure you, let me say this the way I want it. Make sure y'all tip the waitress. She ain't up in here just to be up in here. Make sure you tip the waitress. I don't want to have, I want y'all to have a reputation of not tipping people. Tip the waitress, take care of your waitress, be nice and be patient and everything, and take care of the waitress. The bar is open, the kitchen is wide open. Absolutely. Check out them catfish nuggets when you get a chance. If you receive a $1 million grant tomorrow for the county, how could, I think what they're trying to ask me, if we got a grant for $1 million tomorrow, how would I put it to use?
I just told you, do the swimming pool. There it is, right there.
But see, the question wasn't for you, Tommy. It was for me. I'm so sorry. The question wasn't for you, Tommy. It was for me. But that's okay. I still love you from the bottom of my heart. Okay. All right, now let me answer the question. If I receive a $1 million grant tomorrow, first of all, I'm going to make sure that this grant is legit, number one. I'm going to vet it because I'm going to make sure that when I run over the Sun Trust, that they don't look at me like I done lost my mind. I want to make sure that it's real and that it's workable. The next thing that's fresh on the top of my mind about Rockdale County, how many of you all just happen to be United States veterans in here? Any vets in the house? Any U.S. veterans in the house? All right. So let me answer the question. If I receive a $1 million grant tomorrow, this is one of the things that would be top of my list. Currently in Rockdale County, the fastest growing population is 65 and older. We have a good number of veterans here in our community, in our county. A lot of those vets don't have transportation to and from their doctor's appointments, okay? And we've been working for the last 3 years. If you understand and been paying attention to this national administration, let me just call it out like it is. If you've been paying attention to the Trump administration, they don't do earmarks, okay? So we've been checking the calls to get a 15-passenger van for our local veterans here in Rockdale County. In fact, I'll be in D.C. the second half of this week, hopefully to lock some of that down and bring the bacon back home to Rockdale so our veterans don't have to be figuring out how to get to the doctor and get to their doctor's appointments. Okay? So we are fortunate here in Rockdale County to have our own Veterans Administrative Resource Center over at J.P. Carr. And yes, it's there, it's wide open every day, Monday through Friday. We have a service center for our veterans in Rockdale County over at the J.P. Carr Community Center. But they don't have a transportation unit that will get them to their doctor's appointment, take them there and pick them up. We want to get a 15-passenger van here in Rockdale so that we can take care of some of those veterans who are in a situation they don't have family support or perhaps have church support to get them to and fro to the doctor. That's just one of the things with $1 million. Now you do know $1 million can get me a whole fleet of vans. I don't need that many. The next thing I would really like to focus on would be adding to arts and culture. And I do like what Tommy was talking about in terms of our aquatic center. In fact, that's a part of our Parks and Recreation Master Plan. In addition to that, we just can't simply rely on the local school system. We have a lot of young people who really need an ongoing tutorial program in the area of math, mathematics, and reading comprehension. And we have parents who just are lacking in those skills. We need an ongoing program that will have retired educators or some current active educators a part of those. I'm talking about licensed. I'm not talking about big mama that don't work anymore. Okay? I'm talking about someone who has the credentials to make sure that young people are getting exactly what they need. We need a program that will support what's happening with our local school system, so I'm going to put it in that area as well. But I'll be here to support absolutely every time that I can be here. I will certainly be here. Here's the last question. I'm going to turn this microphone back over to the leadership of the Rockdale County Party, Democratic Party. Let me say this real quick. If you are not familiar with the Rockdale Democratic Party, make sure you don't leave here tonight without connecting with one of the leaders of the party. Also, I really like when Ms. Hatcher talked about it at the meeting. The most powerful way to get a word out is still through word of mouth. We can do social media. You can put a billboard on the highway. You can do radio and television advertisement. There's nothing stronger than word of mouth. Now, the question before me is, there's a fast-growing problem of homelessness here in Rockdale County. What would you do to start caring about the needs of our homeless people? Well, I'm so glad you asked, because in 2017, Rockdale County entered into an agreement with Restoration Storehouse, and it is a resource center to be able to bring a collection of different nonprofit entities together to be able to address the issues concerning food, clothing, shelter, medical help, educational, job needs. That's one way of starting the program to be able to deal with that. Okay, keep in mind, we're not the city of Atlanta. We're not Fulton County and some of those big municipalities and counties. However, we're having some of those issues make their way out here to Rockdale County. And we're trying to do everything we can to be preventive and proactive to head them off head on. But we have a ton of nonprofits here in our community who are working to eradicate the issue of homelessness here in Rockdale County and all across the eastern part of the I-20 corridor. Again, thank you for coming out and supporting the Rockdale Democratic Party. Give them a round of applause. Politics After Dark, spread the word, and make sure you let folks know that they're doing this. How often will it be?
Every second Monday of the month. Every single month. We'll be traveling through the different, not only just clubs, but we'll be doing Starbucks, Panera Bread. I mean, we're going to be taking this to as many places that will welcome us in so that we can get the message out to people. I want to thank our commissioner, our chairman, Oz Nesbitt, for coming down and kicking this off for us tonight. He's done an awesome job. I think he's answered pretty much everybody's question. I know there's probably a million other questions that we have for him, but trust me, he will be making more appearances and be with us. There is the Board of Commissioners meeting that's every Tuesday morning, and then the fourth Tuesday, they travel. Third Tuesday, okay, they travel. So they also will be moving around, and those are evening meetings. For those that cannot come to the daytime meetings, those meetings will be at night. So again, you have the chance to come and hear what's going on. You also have a chance for public comments. There's 3 minutes that you can go and you can ask your questions, and they will get back to you with your answers or point you in the right direction where whatever your problem is can be pointed out. You know, again, I want to thank, as he did, SUDOs for having us here tonight. We do have one of our members here tonight, and this is Ms. Denise Powell, and she's written a book that I want everybody to be aware of. It is Welcome to the A. Anybody that's got somebody coming to Atlanta, visiting, or especially coming to move here, this gives them so much information in the Atlanta and the surrounding areas, where to go, what to look for. So I want to give Ms. Denise a minute to talk a little bit about her book, because the main thing I want you guys to understand is that the Democrats in Rockdale support entrepreneurs.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Can I take a quick poll? Can everybody who is not originally from Georgia just make some noise for me? Yeah. This is what I expected, and this is why I wrote, my first book was If I Knew Then, I'm sorry. This is why I wrote Welcome to the A Smart ATLian's Guide to Life in Metro Atlanta. I made 2004 transplant to Georgia from Tallahassee, Florida. I'm also a U.S. Navy veteran, so I've lived all around the world. But ever since I can think of, Georgia and Metro Atlanta in particular has been a love for me, and I've always wanted to move here. But I did find some very significant challenges with moving to the area, and that's what made me write the book, to make it an easier situation for other people. It's also a really good book if you're in the people business and you want to know who's moving here, what the different demographics really are, and it's a great resource if you have employees or people who are moving here. So if you have an opportunity tonight, come on over and take a look at the book. I also have an event coming up that I'll make sure to give everybody in here an invite to. It's going to be on the 23rd of February at the Book Boutique at Stonecrest Mall. I don't know, are y'all familiar with that? Great new bookstore in Stonecrest Mall down on the first floor. I'll be there from noon to 6 p.m. And I look forward to getting to know everybody here. I'm going to join the Democratic Party tonight. And even though I'm a Covington resident, I'm a Newton resident, but I love Cheryl, I love Phyllis, I love you guys. And thank you for having me.
I just want to remind everybody, membership, the cards are out there, and fill them out even if you don't want to have a membership with us tonight. Please be on our mail list so we can send you information when our meetings are, when things are coming up. We'll be letting you know when our present public officials will be having different town hall meetings, when the Board of Education has meetings, when there's different seminars going on to keep people informed. I'd also like to let you know that the beautiful shirts that we have on tonight were designed by Hotlanta Signs by Lynn over here. They are for sale here, so you can come and check out one of the shirts. And please make sure you get a snapshot over there and put on your Facebook page. We are on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, Rockdale Dem. So all you got to do on any one of them, just look up Rockdale Dem, and you will find us. And we will make sure that you're put on our mail list and that we keep you truly informed about everything else that's going on here in Rockdale County. So I'm going to put back on our second vice chair, Ms. Phyllis Hatcher, so she can introduce our next guest.
Well, all right, Rockdale Democrats. All right, we are actually moving and making things happen. So we have someone that's here with us now. We have a couple of candidates, so our time is kind of like, wrapping up some. But I'm going to bring up Janice Laws. Janice Laws was a candidate for the Insurance Commissioner on the 2018 election. I don't know whether you all know that during the time of Stacey Abrams' run in 2018, there was a slate of 10 that was actually running, and everyone on that slate lost, including me. Yes, everyone on that slate lost, including myself. But we are all coming back. My seat comes back in 2020. Janice Law's seat comes back in 2022. Yes. So I'm going to ask her to come up, because this is going to be one of the best insurance commissioners the state of Georgia will ever have.
Thank you. Good evening, Rockdale Democrats. How y'all feeling tonight? Awesome. Wasn't Chairman Oz amazing? Yes. I tell you what, I've known Chairman Oz forever, probably about the last 10 years, and every time I've ever hosted an event, I always want him to come out and MC, because he always brings the energy. And he's consistent even now. So thank you, appreciate you coming out. I am not a Rockdale resident. I'm hailing all the way from Coweta County. All the way in Coweta County. But as your state Democratic nominee for Insurance Commissioner, when Phyllis reached out to me to come out and say a few words, I was all in. Because one thing you know when you run for statewide office, it's impossible to do it without the local county parties. So I can tell you this, without Rockdale County, without all of the county parties throughout the state, I would not be standing here tonight with you as your 2018 Democratic nominee. Yes. So I thank you, and I appreciate each and every person in here that voted for the entire statewide ticket from Stacey Abrams all the way down, and that voted for me to be your next insurance commissioner, and we came so close. Yes, we did. Stacey Abrams' race and my race were the last two to be called because they were too close to call. It took a whole week. And I just really am grateful. I do not take that lightly. During the primary, I won 149 of 159 counties.
All right, yes.
So that is done on the local level because of gatherings like this, people gathering all over the state to knock on doors, make phone calls, and do the work on behalf of the candidates. So I stand and I thank you on behalf of the entire Democratic statewide ticket tonight, and I'm sure they'll make their way out here as well.
Oh yeah.
But just a little bit about me. I am originally from Jamaica, so you hear a little accent. That is where I'm from. I was born there. I lived the first 16 years of my life in Jamaica, but I've been in the U.S. for my entire adult life, most of my life, and I'm a proud American citizen and glad to serve you in any way I can. I'm just seeing what I want to share with you tonight. I'm a mother. I have two amazing daughters. My oldest is in the U.S. Navy, and my second daughter is at Georgia State. I've been in the insurance industry for almost 2 decades. I own my own insurance agency and have worked with countless Georgia families like yourself with their insurance needs. And what got me interested in the insurance commissioner seat is just the complaints I got throughout the years regarding our rates. Every time I got calls from small business owners like yourself or just everyday consumers saying, Janice, why is my car insurance rate so high? I just got a rate increase 6 months ago. Why did I get another rate increase? Or, Janice, insurance is going to put us out of business. And so I was never a career politician, but what I did know is that I knew insurance and I knew what people were dealing with throughout the state. And I took it on to step out and to make a difference for everyday people just like you and everyday small business owners. And I took my campaign throughout the state, went to just gatherings like this and spoke with people, educating them about the role of the insurance commissioner. Because what I discovered as I was on the trail, most people did not even know we had an insurance commissioner. Right. Most people are like, insurance commissioner, what's that? I said, the person that can control how much car insurance you pay. They're like, okay. The person that control if you have a health insurance card in your pocket. And they're like, okay. So I educated citizens throughout the state about the role of the insurance commissioner and the importance of it. And people showed up. Almost 2 million people voted. But we fell short.
That's okay.
So in the next 4 years, we have time, and I will continue to travel and educate folks and let them know we have work to do. Because we need to have a voice at the state level. There's no way not one person throughout the state of Georgia knew who our insurance commissioner was.
That's right. And who is it now?
Who is it?
We don't know. It's not you.
We don't know.
I know, right?
We don't care.
We don't care. That's right. That's right.
And so we'll see if they'll know who this one is, if he gets out and actually does anything.
That's right.
But I will tell you what, I will continue to make sure I keep abreast of what's going on in the insurance industry. I will keep you up to date. I will keep educating. I will keep fighting. I'll be at the state capitol. I will be lobbying. I'll be there 2 days this week. I'm making sure I stay on their tail because we need a voice at the state level. And we don't have it right now. And I am that voice, and I am committed to making sure that we have access to quality, affordable insurance, and we have access to excellent rates and companies that we can rely on. So I'm open for questions. I really just wanted to come out and say thank you for your support. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for voting for me. Yeah. And I was on the campaign trail for over a year, so I'm just resting, trying to recoup, and and we'll refocus on running in the future. But right now, I'm in the off year.
That's okay. That's all right.
I'm in the off year. But, any questions, anyone?
I do have a question. My name is Brittany Mooney. I'm a resident of Cobb County.
Give her the mic, Denise, so we can hear the question. Denise, give her the mic so we can hear the question.
She actually just moved here, and her insurance was raised really high. She was retired, and she was actually just explained to me how expensive it is. And like I said, she moved from Cobb County to Rockdale because it's more affordable. The housing was better and everything, but the car insurance, she's with State Farm right now. And she's actually thinking about canceling with State Farm and going to another, car insurance. But she's really getting help because when she's retired. And do you have any type of incentives on retired? She also works with Lockheed Martin.
Yes, and those are some of the issues that I encountered. And those are some of the things that I was fighting for and will continue to fight for, to have incentive programs for senior citizens to make sure they have affordable rates. Because it used to be, even 10 years ago, when you were a senior citizen, your rates were lower. But what happened in 2008, a Senate bill passed that allowed insurance companies to pretty much charge whatever they want. And our rates went through the roof. So my number one fight is to repeal and replace that Senate Bill 276 so that insurance companies can be properly regulated and the rates can be monitored. Any other question? I know insurance is not a sexy topic, right? We all gotta pay it, it costs a lot of money, and someone's gotta fight for you. So I'm committed to fighting for you. All right, thank you so much for your listening and for your commitment, and we'll continue to fight.
Thank you. Well, thank you, Ms. Denise, for giving us a little education on insurance. I know when I was actually running it, and I had the same question about State Farm, also because that was my agent at that time, but now it's nationwide. Okay, so next week, exactly, State Farm was like crazy. Okay, our next person that we have, now keep in mind, y'all, we are on Facebook Live, and also we have this young gentleman here that has actually set up our Twitter account, our Facebook Live account, our Instagram account. Jermaine. That's right, Jermaine. So we thank Jermaine because we are Facebook Live and now, y'all. All right. So now our next person, we have a couple more candidates, but I want to bring up Mr. Amon. Did I pronounce that right? Amun. Mr. Amun is actually running for the United States Senate. I know y'all that we only have, what, 2 United States Senates, right? We have Purdue, and then what's the other one? That's it. So I don't know which one he's going to take, but he's running for one of them. All right. So no further ado, Mr. Amun, he's going to come and give us a few words.
Good evening, everybody. Like many, I'm a transplant from South Florida. Moved up in 2007 with my wife. And I'll be honest with y'all, when I was young, I thought about running for U.S. Senate. But of course, with the regulations, I had to wait. And then the baby came, and then the next baby came, but now's the time.
All right, now's the time.
In terms of the reason, number one is because I can. And I guess the other reasons align with pretty much what I see as a better America. I just started a job in Clayton County, and one of the individuals that works on campus, she's been there for quite some time. She was holding her jaw, and of course, having the braces, I understand what tooth pain looks like. So I said, what's wrong? She said, of course, she had a tooth ailing her and whatnot. I said, well, you're going to get that checked out, because I'm being blunt. And she said, yeah. I said, so how long have you been dealing with it? She said, quite some time. And she said the reason why she hadn't gone to it is because of the cost. Now you gotta understand, this is a county employee who has, insurance coverage that's still struggling to make those ends meet. So one of the big things on my platform is universal health care. We can call it a number of different things, but people should not be afraid to get sick. Now I know I try to eat right and do right, et cetera, et cetera. I love sodas, right, babe? My son will tell you I like cakes. But nobody should be able to live a normal life and be afraid of a medical bill. I do remember being 19, and I'm gonna make this one quick. I had bronchitis and had to pay $900 for, I think it was just antibiotic. And I was still in high school, y'all. So, other things that I'm really big on. If you want to, go ahead and pull up my website. I don't have cards, but it's AMUN, the number 4, Senate.com. And on that site, you'll see a number of things. But of course, Chairman Nesbitt made mention of support for veterans. Phyllis, I believe you remember when we were awaiting Stacy as she came over to Henry, there was a veteran that was there. He had a cane. I can't remember his name. But he was upset about the fact that there were no donuts and coffee at the vet hospital. And it could be simple things like that. Transportation to doctor's appointments. We have to take care of the people that took care of us. Another big thing, of course, I'm an educator by trade. Math teacher through and through. I've done a little bit of logistics as a freight broker, but I could never put down the expo marker or the whatever tool you want to call it teaching mathematics, right? So I'm right there with you when we talk about ensuring that our kids are able to read and write. But the big thing I'm battling with is literacy. I love the fact that you made mention of that. Because if the kids can't read, how can they do a math problem? How can they engage in an educated conversation about politics, about anything? And of course, you might have stigmas associated with my policies, and it could be universal health care, and somebody might say, because of my party affiliation, I'm going to vote no. Well, let's talk about the facts. Another big thing that I'm interested in is revolutionizing our agricultural industry. Now, of course, I believe one of the presidential candidates made mention, I believe Camilla said that she did smoke marijuana at one point. And I would be for legalization, but not for the purposes of smoking. There is a huge potential in growing hemp for use in a variety of industries. But I'm not just talking about the big corporations profiting from that and other cash crops. I'm going to have an initiative where everyday individuals who own a piece of land have an understanding of how they can monetize that land that might grow Bermuda grass or any other weeds. Because people that own land that can raise pine and other crops, they generate wealth over generations. And a lot of that's not happening, particularly in our communities.
That's right.
So I want to ensure that the people have a bit of stake and power. And it's not just in, working the land, but working who they are as individuals. I have a nonprofit, and I'm pretty sure there are other nonprofits who just don't necessarily have the presence. I would be that elected official in a federal position in Rockdale County or any county across the state of state of Georgia, repairing potholes. Now, I can't say I would do that every day. It might be a week during my normal calendar year where I say, you know what, this is going to be strictly dedicated to small-scale jobs and repairs and fixes that I can participate in. Because it's not always about using your position to do things that you're elected to do. It's also about doing things that sometimes people overlook and don't understand that, I can do that too. I can lend a helping hand. I can be a model. And we talk about that in education, about modeling the type of behavior that we want others to emulate or to take upon themselves. Outside of that, y'all, it's so much that I can talk about. And actually, I do want to say one more thing. And I want to open it up for conversation and questions. Nobody ever talks about how much we spend on incarcerated people. Do they never say, oh, we got too many people going to jail. Now, at one point, depending on your source of information, some have said we don't have enough going to jail. I would be for reducing our defensive spending and ensuring that we can provide a free college education at a four-year institution and 2-year technical schools for every high school student graduating in the state of Georgia. Now that would cost the same amount as it costs to put people in jail.
That's right.
So what's the issue? Now, of course, I know I might have opponents who have stakes in these corporations that run jails and prisons, but I don't care about that. I'll be doing my job to ensure that the next generation has a stake and are able to transcend the cycles of poverty. And a lot of times we don't really see what those traps are like, especially when we don't understand how we can free ourselves from them. And in a number of situations, education is that primary vehicle to ensure that happens. So yes, I would try to have our spending on defense because we're about 3.5 to 4 times as much as China. And look at the comparison in terms of population. It's totally unnecessary, people. We can put a lot of that into educating our youth. Again, there's so much more I can talk about, but if you had a chance to visit the site, you can ask me about any of the points on my outline. If you have a question, I'm open for questions about anything. Go ahead. And I do want to say, if I don't know, like I told you, I'm going to check it out. And he didn't even look for a response, but his response was, how much of the vote do I have in Rockdale? And I said, well, let me base it off that. And I took a look at it. 63% participated in the November election. 67% voted for governor, Democrat. The others fluctuated between 61 and 67. So I'm never going to misspeak, but I will definitely give you a true response. Go ahead.
You know, one of the things I see most elected officials, since you started out, make a mistake. You talk about all the things you're going to do, but you need to incorporate how you're going to do it and where you're going to get the money.
So remember, it's going to cost, it costs $8 million a year to incarcerate folks. We're spending $680 billion on defense now. I would have us reevaluate pretty much our error that's been taking place over the past few years. I would probably go back as far as 5 to 10 to ensure that we've been projecting our costs and hitting those costs and trying to truncate down or eliminate some of that excessive. Now, if I can reach the 80 billion in doing that or participate in reaching that, I would. But of course, I would look at different measures. I would have to evaluate costs to ensure that we don't raise taxes because again, I will lose a considerable amount of base if I mention the word raise taxes. So I have to be smart about it. But I do have that as one of my primary goals as an elected official, to ensure free public education and university.
Well, they already, look what they're doing with Obamacare. They don't even have that, this state don't even have the health insurance they need. I'm only saying this to you. When you talk about all those things, have a plan on how you're going to get it done.
Gotcha. And what's your name?
You know what you need to, you know what this country needs to stop doing? We bring in too much foreign. Right. Too many Mercedes, too many Hondas, too many. General Motors said they're getting ready to lay off, I forget.
4,000.
How many?
4,000.
Yeah, you can't stand that. You can't keep standing, you can't. Everybody's unemployed because everything is coming from somewhere else. That's what the government should be doing.
I got you.
Germany said we only let in so many foreign makers of cars in their country. There's a cutoff.
I agree.
So people there have to start buying German cars.
I agree.
You just can't let everybody just come in here and just flood this place with cars and everybody's unemployed.
I agree.
That's what a senator does.
So I'll definitely take that into consideration.
Please.
Absolutely.
When you ain't got nothing to do, take that into consideration.
No, and regardless, I will.
Yeah.
Any other questions? All right, remember, ALU is the number 4 city. Thank y'all, and thank you, Phyllis, for the opportunity, and Party for the warm welcome.
Well, thank you, Ms. Salmon. And hopefully, y'all, that you will be our next United States Senator, okay? Sometimes I have to make sure that I use another word because my word is always amen. And the reason why, because I'm an ordained pastor of the gospel. So my next word is going to be, ain't that all right? Ain't that all right? Ain't that all right? Awesome. Okay, without further ado, we have another candidate. And believe it or not, y'all, we have a candidate that's right here up under our nose that lives in Newton County, that is running for one of the highest office there is in the world, I can say. Because you all know that the United States is considered the president of the United States of America is considered one of the highest hierarchy in the world, even though we have other leaders of other countries, but they always look to the United States to actually be that person. So, we have Alice Yancey Teague. She lives in Newton County. She is running for the president of the United States of America. Alice Yancey Teague. Now let me just say this about Alice. When I first met Alice, Yancey Teague, T-E-A-G-U-E. When I first met Alice a couple of months ago, and she told me that she was running for the president of the United States of America, my answer was to her was, girl, you got balls. And you got lots of them. So, I attended her first event, and let me just say this. You all know when Stacey decided to run for governor, she was just Stacey Abrams running around. She was at my house in my kitchen, we had coffee and all this kind of stuff. Now see, I can't even reach Stacey now. I used to have it on speed dial and just pick up and say, hey Stacey, what's going on?
Wait a minute now, she's still working for you.
Yeah, she's still working for me.
All right.
And so hopefully we'll have her in April. We haven't got a confirmation, but we will have Stacey Abrams on our Politics After Dark the second Monday in April, okay? So, with that being said, we can take it lightly to say, this girl is running for president. How in the world she think that she's going to even make it? The same way people thought about Stacey, and she became to be a national name. So don't take Alice Yancey's Teague lightly. Don't take her lightly now. So without further ado, my friend Alice Yancey Teague, that is a resident of Newton County, right here up on your nose, is running for the president of the United States of America.
Thank you, everybody, for just giving me a few minutes just to say something. When I told Phyllis that I was running for president of the United States of America, she thought I was kidding. And I told her, no, I'm running. I'm really running. And it wasn't because Donald Trump was...
Hold on, one thing. I'm sorry, y'all. She has raised $3 million already.
Yeah. When I told her I was running, and she said, no, you're not. I said, yes, I am. And it wasn't because of Donald Trump. I was thinking about running 2 years ago. But the reason I'm running because it's personal. My family was civil rights activists. My mother was called the Mother Teresa on the west side of Chicago. I was born on the west side of Chicago. And I was born in the west side. My mother thought that the west side was the best side because she believed in people. She believed that whether you're poor or high or a millionaire, you still get the same respect. And she said the one thing a person can do is to give respect because it doesn't cost anything. And that taught me to run this race. My uncle was a civil rights activist as well. He marched with Dr. King, and he got killed in a mystery car accident. Even though my family moved on, I decided to pick up the baton where they left off. But the reason why I'm running for president of the United States of America is because I love this country. And I'm gonna fight for you and your children to say, I am somebody, and that your child and your child can be able to stand up and say, I wanna be president of the United States of America one day. And we have a government, we have a president that don't care about anybody but himself. If it's not his way, it's nobody's way. Our American people are not monopoly people. You do not shut down a government and 8,000 people are out of work. We have to put people to work. Building a wall is not important, but getting people jobs and education, that's important. And when mass incarceration is no better than it was 60 years ago. And we need to make a stop. Police brutality, we need to make it stop. And the time is now. My name is Alice Yancey Teague, and I am running for President of the United States of America for the people.
God bless y'all. Kids over there. Now, y'all, that's my friend. Now, don't you all forget, in 2020, when the election comes out, and y'all see her on the ballot, make sure that you vote, and make sure that you met her at Politics After Dark. First announcement at Rockdale County Democratic Party. At SUDOs. At SUDOs. Yes, at SUDOs. So, our time is coming up. We have 15 more minutes. Our time is from 7 to 9. Make sure that you all continue to eat and drink. It was a statement that said at one time at one of our parties, at one of our meetings, that why we have to meet in the club, in order to get something done. But as being a pastor of the gospel, Paul said, meet them where they are. So if we are at SUDOs, we at SUDOs. I don't drink, but I don't mind coming to SUDOs. I'm not too heavily bound where I can't come to SUDOs.
You eat, don't you?
I do eat. And I do like iced tea. And I do like a peach margarita every now and then. Just don't get drunk. All right. So I'm going to let our president close us out. But we will be at Triples on March the 11th. Our special guest is Sarah Amiga, the person that ran for lieutenant governor. She will also be joined with our chairman, Oz Nesby, if he's in town and if he's available, so he can answer more questions. And then also we have Helen Butler that's going to be coming out. She's a revolutionary with Jesse Jackson, which is the Georgia People's Agenda. So she will be coming out also. We're going to actually be talking about at that time why it's important to vote, and who are not registered to vote, and the reason why you are not registered. And then actually get a little bit more education as far as where your precincts are, because believe it or not, y'all, on this race, I met a lot of people that don't even know who their leaders are, or where they're supposed to go vote, where their precincts are, where they live. So as we move forward in this Politics After Dark, it's going to be a little bit more educational. I met Mr. Driscoll tonight. He just moved to Rockdale County, and he didn't know his precinct. I ain't putting you on blast. But a lot of people don't even know their precinct, and I had to let him know that Tanya Anderson is his senator, because I wanted to make sure that he wasn't in my district. So I let him know that I may be your senator in District 17. So as we move forward, you all, ask questions about, because any question is not a dumb question. So if you don't know your precincts, if you don't know who your elected officials are, and you just don't know. And if you're not a registered voter, please register to vote. Please do that. Please register to vote, because your vote do count. Your vote do count. I met a lady on the campaign trail, and her question was, why should I vote? And my main reason to her was, someone died for you to have the opportunity to vote. That should be enough right there. Because keep in mind now, y'all, as a people of color, we couldn't even vote. So someone actually died for us to have an opportunity to vote. So when I hear people make comments like that, I don't call them ignorant comments, but they really are. To call it like it is. So as we move forward to Politics After Dark, we will be addressing lots of different issues like that. So I just thank you all for coming out. I appreciate you. If you haven't gotten a t-shirt, our t-shirts are $20 to get one tonight. If we don't have the size, we'll order you one. Make sure that you have your card through the table. If you haven't become a Rockdale Democratic member, make sure that you join our U.S. Senate. Even though you may not live in Rockdale County got to vote for you, so I need your membership. President Alice T, I need your membership. Janice Laws, I need your membership. Even though you all are not Rockdale County, but you all are statewide elected officials or candidates, and we need your support. As we support you, we want you to support us, okay? Amen? No, ain't that all right? Okay, so I would love the chairman here, Cheryl Boyd. She's going to close us out with some other remarks that she has. But thank you all for coming. Hope to see y'all at Triples. Triples is a new bar and lounge that just planted in Rockdale County over on Flat Shows in 138. Lovely place. See you there at 7 o'clock with Sarah Amigo and Helen Butler.
All right, thank you everybody for coming out. our chairman likes to say there are people who live in Rockdale and there's people who wish they lived in Rockdale. So, you know, all you Newton County residents, just hop on over the border a little bit. You know, don't take much because we got places we will gladly sell you, welcome, rent to you, all of that. And of course, your businesses, bring them over to Rockdale, okay? Because Rockdale supports its entrepreneurs. So with that in mind, we also want to mention a couple things. We have here getting ready to start at the end of this month, the Rockdale Works program. The Rockdale Works program is a program for people that are unemployed or underemployed. And it will be giving training in the manufacturing, construction, trucking, and office administration field. Most people qualify to take these classes for free. All you have to do is go down to the WIA office, which is located on 1400 Parker Road, fill out the application, pick the classes that you want to take, and start those classes. You will come out with certifications, and all the companies that are located in Rockdale, and many of them in Newton and Lithonia and Stonecrest, have agreed that they will take the graduates of these classes first choice to the position they have open. So that's an excellent opportunity. So again, it's the Rockdale Works program. You go to 1400 Parker Road, go to the WIA office and tell them that you want to take some of these certification classes and find out what being employed in Rockdale is all about. So you don't have to drive all the way downtown, that you can live, work, and play here in Rockdale. All right? So the other thing we want to tell you is that there's a couple things going on in the community that we also want you to know about. The chairman also mentioned about our singer that's coming that sounds like Luther. Well, we want to make sure that we attend that. We also have Kingdom Builders Church this weekend, okay, is having the play She Married the Ring and Forgot the Man. Okay, so tickets are on sale. Okay, you can actually go to Kingdom Builders website or their Facebook page. Again, the name of it is She Married the Ring and Forgot the Man. Okay?
I'm telling y'all.
Alright, so make sure you get your tickets. They are quickly getting to be sold out. It was sold out last weekend in Decatur. So make sure that you take the opportunity and come out this weekend to do that. Okay? Lastly, again, we want your membership. Please come out also the fourth Saturday of every month. We have our general meeting. We invite you to come on. Right now, we are still trying to rebuild our home, but our meetings will be held at Interior Styles Furniture Store, which is in the shopping mall right across the street where Gold's Gym used to be. Harold Greenwell is the proprietor there, and he's graciously opened his doors to allow us until we find a new home. We were located on Parker Road for over 6 years, and finally the economy, our landlord there said, you know what, I've got somebody that's willing to pay over market price. So we want to thank her for giving us the 6 years that we were there, and part of your dues will go to helping us secure another place there on the front where everybody can see where we are. So I want to thank you all again for coming back out. We've got one more thing that our second vice chair, Ms. Phyllis Hatcher, is going to bring to you. But again, the 23rd to come on out, Saturday, across the street at Interior Styles. The meeting is at 9 a.m. We try to be respectful of your time and get you out by 10:30. So please come on out, learn more what's going on, learn how to be a part of the party, and how this party is in the community. We are working in the community to help other individuals in our community. We support the nonprofits in our community and all of the different churches and everything. So come on out. be a part of us. Being a part of the Democratic Party of Rockdale is truly being a part of your community. So I hand it over one more time to our second vice chair. Again, see you Saturday, see you next month at Triples, and thanks again, and God bless.
I forgot to mention, y'all, put on your calendar May the 4th. I forgot to mention it. Put on your calendar for May the 4th. The Rockdale Democratic Party is hosting a Blue Derby. Yes. We will be emulating the Kentucky Derby. The Kentucky Derby is held on May the 4th and 5th in Kentucky. So Rockdale Democratic Party will be hosting a Blue Derby. And guess what we're having it at, y'all? Ooh, what y'all want to know, I'm just going to tell you. It's going to be on the Barksdale Farm.
Yeah.
Yes. So on May the 4th, put it on your calendars. The tickets are $65. We will have those tickets at our next general meeting. We will have horses that you will be able to pet. We're going to be doing some live biddings because we will be actually connected to, we're not connected to the Derby, but we will actually be showing the Derby on the line. The women will have a chance to wear their fashionable hats. The men will have a chance to wear their bow ties and their derbies.
Are you going to have mint juleps?
Yeah, we're going to have mint juleps as well. So make sure that you all come out on May the 4th. We will be advertising it on our page. It's going to be on our Facebook page. We'll be tooling it out and everything like that. And we will be hosting it on the Barksdale Farm. So we want to give thanks to Mr. Barksdale and his family for allowing us to be on his farm. Thank you all. We'll see you all next month.